Hey guys, welcome back. Tisha here, back with our first Married to Medicine review for season 11. There may be some parts that I leave out. If you want to talk about it, put it down below. My thoughts. I enjoyed this episode. Even though there was a lot of unnecessary bickering between grown adult women, I enjoyed this episode. So here's what I'm going to ask you at the top of the episode. Are we team Heavenly, team Sweetie, or team Nobody? Because the issues from last season have definitely carried over to this one. So we begin the episode where we're getting montages of all the people. Of course, Dr. Jackie seeing a patient. Toya and Eugene are talking about how great their morning session was. Cecil and Simone are talking and they're getting ready for their 35th college reunion. So to celebrate their college reunion, they want to do it Freaknik style. I feel like we've seen this time and time again on franchises where they do this type of party as a homage to Freaknik in Atlanta. We've seen it done before. We saw them try to do it on what's the show? Martha's Vineyard. So it's like, okay, I get it. But, I love a good theme party. So it didn't bore me like I was afraid it would. So they're trying to bring back the park and parties type of feel atmosphere that it used to be without what it turned into later on. Quad is not on the list as far as Simone is concerned, but her husband has some other plans. So we find out that 4 months ago at the wrap of the reunion in New York, that everybody was okay, that Quad and Simone were okay, that they were talking, and Simone blames social media for where they are now, saying that, social media basically got into her head. Cecil's like, what's the difference between you and Quad getting into it and you and Heavenly getting into it? Because you've gotten into it with Heavenly on many occasions and y'all have managed to patch things up. So why is it that you can't get ahead on things with Quad? I don't like how Simone has changed this narrative and made this something more than what it should be with her and Quad. Maybe I'm missing something, but other than the fact that she feels that she was used as a person to keep her on the show, I don't understand what the big beef is, because Quad has done other things to other people, and you openly admitted in the reunion episode that you stopped talking to Quad more so because of your loyalties to Toya. So which is it? But Simone says that the reason why she stopped, communicating back and forth with Quad and why she's able to make things work with Heavenly is because, unlike Quad, Heavenly has depth, that they actually spend time together and hang out with each other, where she feels like things with Quad are more superficial. They weren't always that way, and I feel like if Quad felt like Simone was a safe space, that she would go deeper with her. But she proved that she's not a safe space in telling the things that she told during the reunion special that Quad didn't want put out there. So after all of this butt kissing and apologizing and back bending things that Quad did last year at the reunion to ensure that she was on the show, no one from the cast has really spoken to her with the exception of Heavenly. We find out that Heavenly at some point reached out to her and admitted, like, you know what, we did you wrong. She says that she didn't like Quad being treated the way that she was treated because they've all done wrong. And I agree, they all have done wrong. So Simone says the one thing about Dr. Heavenly, not Simone, Quad, says the one thing about Dr. Heavenly is that when it takes time for her to, she may not do it right away, but she'll look back at things and she'll do some reflection. I don't know how I feel about that. Because Quad, you need to do a little bit of reflection too, number one. And number two, Heavenly has a tendency to reflect after the fact, and then she goes and does some of the same things again. Like, I like Heavenly, but Heavenly makes it hard to root for her when Heavenly goes so low. So Quad feels like Simone did too much by bringing up the family's loss and giving the details of it. She says she just felt like it was too much and she didn't want that out there. And she wants Simone to say that she was wrong because, in my opinion, she was. When she had asked her at the reunion to please stop, to not talk about it, rather than Simone trying to tell the situation to prove a point of how she's been there for her, she should have just let it go and not keep talking about it. It was insensitive, not just to Quad, but to her family as well. So we see Greg and Not So Sweet Tea. And Greg and Not So Sweet Tea are heading to Phaedra's house. They talk about going to the gun range, and he talks about how beforehand she used to go with him all the time, and now that she got the ring, she hasn't gone. And she admittedly says, yeah, I was doing it to get you, and now I got you, so I don't need to keep going. They're still working on making a baby. They link up with Phaedra, who supposedly used to be a lifeguard amongst all the other jobs that she has, and her son to teach Sweet Tea how to swim. So they're in there doing stuff, and Greg is just watching as they're trying to teach her how to float and doggy paddle and all these other things. And at some point, Phaedra gets out the pool and she talks to Greg about how he's been doing. And Greg is like, Heavenly's been running her mouth. And I said, okay. And Tisha's been running hers too. So we find out that Heavenly said some things. They showed some clips. I think one of the things was talking about Tisha's mom, and she said something along the lines of her deceased mama will have a better chance of conceiving than Tisha. That was really, really low. When will Heavenly learn? Certain things are off limits. And she's already gotten into it plenty of other times about the Your Mama stuff. And I get Heavenly was talking about her own mother, but do not talk about any other woman's womb, especially because Heavenly has 3 children that are healthy. Now, we don't know if she's ever lost anything or anything like that, but based on how ignorant she sounds when she says things like that, it makes me feel like she hasn't. And I get it. Tisha has done and says some messed up stuff, but stop talking about things that you know is beyond her control. Like, I don't like that. I don't like it at all. And I don't even like Sweet Tea, and I don't like that at all. So she talked about that. We get a clip of Sweet Tea in a video thing talking about Damon cheating and how Heavenly told her that he cheats. I don't really feel like Heavenly said that, but whatever. So he feels like Letitia struck a nerve based on what she said, but he doesn't feel like she was out of line. And that's the problem, because these husbands aren't calling their wives out on their crap. At the end of the day, whether you do it on camera or not, you should say something to your wives, because there is going too far, and the both of them have gone too far. Neither one of their hands are clean, in my opinion. Damon and Greg aren't good. They haven't even really been talking. Heavenly, we are seeing, did a hashtag he's an abuser, and Damon didn't like that. Not Damon. Damon didn't even make mention if he liked it or not. Dr. G didn't like that. Here's the thing. He is an abuser, but so is Heavenly. Hear me out. He can sit here and try to rewrite history all he wants to. Dr. G admittedly assaulted Quad. Quad, too, has put her hands on Dr. G. Dr. G has also been emotionally and financially abusive with Quad. We have seen Heavenly be verbally abusive with people. So all of them are the very things that they're calling one another. And I get it. It's different. It's a different level. I will not sit here and act like Dr. G and Dr. Heavenly are on the same thing. My point is, neither one of them are right. And the same way you're saying certain things about him, he can come back and say certain things about you. So she also made some comments about his practice, he says. And Phaedra feels like, they just need to, we need to protect, Dr. G, because there's a lot of, medical professions out there, but only a few Black medical doctors are out there. And I just want her to not use race as a convenience, because Phaedra, I haven't forgot the messed up stuff that you did to Candy either. So while you're talking about protecting people, let's talk about protecting all people, not just the ones we like. So we're on to Heavenly. Cecil and Simone come over to Heavenly and Damon's house. Cecil comes in bringing the purple bottle, which we know is her crown. Simone reminds us of the ups and downs that her and Heavenly have had and how they're finally in this good place. So they go outside or downstairs for some hibachi. We did that for my friend's 40th birthday when we went glamping. And when I say it was so nice to have that man come out there and serve us our food and cook for us and try to drown me in sake, and just it was laughs, good food, good time. So I could see how that would be a vibe. So they sit, they eat, they drink. Cecil kills the vibe by talking about Tisha, but it didn't go as bad as I thought it was going to go. So Damon says, okay, you want to bring up Tisha. Is this where we get a little louder? And I started laughing because he said it so calmly. So Heavenly says, all y'all mother truckers know, if you mess with my man, then I'm going to mess with yours. I don't know who started it first, because Tisha's video was from 5 months ago and Heavenly's comments were from 4 months ago after the reunion. Either way, neither one of them were right. Heavenly says, look, I was going to apologize because I was wrong in some of the things that I said. But then I saw that she kept on going and she started talking mess about my profession and my businesses. And then I decided, you going to talk about my profession and my businesses, then I'm going to go on your and talk about your husband and his. She admits that she goes too far sometimes and she'll take it back, but she's good. No, Heavenly, it's not good, because you can't keep thinking that you can go too far and you'll just apologize and things are okay. Because with an apology is supposed to come change, but you're not doing anything to change. You're just apologizing so you can get people out of your face. And that's the wrong reason. Like, if you're going to apologize, do it for the right reasons. Don't just do it because, oh, it sounds good. And guess what? In 10 minutes, I'm going to go back and do the same thing. I've been watching this series long enough. I may have had a break here and there, but Heavenly every season has to apologize to multiple people. So even though I like Heavenly and Heavenly keeps the show moving, Heavenly is a problem. She just is. I gotta be honest. I like her, but she's a problem. I think I would like Heavenly outside of this show and the dynamics of this show, but I think Heavenly goes too far and Heavenly is very messy. So then after that, she tells Simone, like, while we're talking about apologizing, Quad apologized to everybody in New York. And I feel like, Simone, you owe her an apology as well because of what you said. Simone pauses. Simone says, I was wrong with what I said. I shouldn't have described the incident, but I was trying to prove something there, which is that I show up. You saying but doesn't make the situation any better. You shouldn't have described the incident, period. We were very much so aware of the incident. We didn't need you to go into depth about it. Heavenly says, Quad says, I thought we were okay because right after that, like 15 minutes later, we were hugging in the dressing room. And Heavenly's like, Quad has a tendency to play like she's cool, but she's not. And Cecil, who we find out is friends with Quad, is co-signing what Heavenly's saying. Is like, yeah, Quad likes to act like she's big and bad, but in her core, she's a softie. And Simone doesn't want to hear it. We then see a clip where Cecil invited Quad to their Whitnik party. Here's the thing. Let's be clear. This is a party for Whitnik, but it's also a cast thing. All of the cast is there. Because why all of a sudden is Dr. Contessa and them coming there? They don't hang out like that. All of the cast is there, along with some other faces that we've seen before in other reality spaces like T.S. Madison and some others. So I said, okay, you're inviting her without telling your wife. This is not going to go over well. So it's party time. We see all the decor for Whitnik. 40 bottles included, and everyone getting ready. Phaedra and Toya are getting ready together as Phaedra reminisces about booty shorts and wife beaters. She never attended, she said, because she was a Christian woman. At Dr. Jackie's, we see her and Heavenly getting ready together. And Jackie said, she saw all the stuff and she wanted to go, and she heard things like later on some of her doctor friends having to prescribe certain treatments because of what they may have gotten while at Freaknik, but she was working. No surprise there. So we see Jackie trying on all these wigs, and I think Jackie's going to do something out of the box, but Jackie did not. The people started arriving at the event. Cecil, Jackie, Heavenly, and Damon arrived together. Jackie has on no wig. She really didn't dress up that much, in my opinion, but for real, neither did Cecil or Damon. You putting on an Adidas jogger set doesn't equate to you dressing up, but they did more than what Damon did, because Damon really just had on some shorts and a shirt. Meanwhile, Heavenly had on like a jeans jumper set, shorts, and she had on like a Baps wig. It was blonde, it was tall. Simone and Cecil pull up with the hydraulics in the car. The car's bouncing up and down. It's cute. I laughed. Toya and Eugene and Phaedra pull up. Toya's laughing about backing up and parking. It's so funny how much people have gotten accustomed to cameras. It's like even me. In my previous vehicle, I had a camera, right? But I very rarely utilized the camera. I always looked at my mirrors. My son now has that vehicle, and I have a different one. And when I say that my newer car has spoiled me, like seeing the aerial view and stuff as you back up and looking at the lines and seeing the proximity, that it spoils you, but it also jacks you up, because you need to not always have to rely on that camera, because you will be in vehicles that do not have a camera. And this was a prime example of it. But both Heavenly and Toya don't damage anything while they're backing up their vehicles. So not Cecil, Eugene and Toya talk about how they were in high school and middle school when Freaknik happened. Phaedra's got on her booty shorts, and she's quick to stand, around with the cheeks being out a little bit. And Heavenly, like, don't stand in front of my man. Heavenly comes off as very insecure when it comes to Damon that she trusts. I need Heavenly to loosen up, because a person is going to be a person. You could try to control that situation all you want to. If they want to cheat, they're going to cheat. So Tisha and Dr. G come with Contessa and Scott. I'll be honest, y'all. I liked Contessa in the beginning, but towards the end, I was not a fan of Contessa or Scott. Heavily embraces Contessa despite them not being friends. And Contessa's like, maybe she didn't realize who I was because I'm in costume, because we're not friends. Damon and G dap each other up. Damon says he's not mad. G's like, everyone is human. But then in confessional, he says that he's still upset. He's not going to lie. So then why did you lie just then when you were talking to Damon? But I feel like Damon lied to you too, because neither one of y'all are in a good place with each other, and you can't be liking the things that are being said. So Simone is standing up, making her announcement to the people, thank you for coming to Whitnik. This is our 35th reunion, and we wanted to do something to celebrate, and yada, yada, yada. When the camera zooms into a red car that's bouncing up and down, it's Quad, and she's late. People are looking because her car too has hydraulics, and Heavenly wastes no time to run over there doing her you late but you cute, and she hugs her. And Simone on the mic says, we have an unexpected guest. She was expected. And why do y'all like to announce them things on the mic? Heavenly did it one year, and now you're doing it another. Y'all stop being so tacky. So we see how Simone is upset, but Cecil is excited. Like, he walks up saying he's just trying to help, and he's hugging and rocking and hugging his friend Quad. Simone isn't feeling it. She's like, she's late and she's uninvited. She doesn't understand why Heavenly and Jackie apologized to Quad so quickly. And we see a flashback, and it was a couple weeks ago and a couple days ago. That's not quick. She says she got the same type of heat that Heavenly and Dr. Jackie got on social media, but she thinks that they cannot handle it. And unlike them, she doesn't give a F what anyone else says or thinks. I don't think it has anything to do with that. I do think that they care what people say, but maybe they did do a little bit of reflection and realize it's just been carried on for too long. And they're co-workers. At some point, y'all gonna have to work together. What else do y'all have to give? Y'all need to add people to this cast to keep this show going. So Toya, Eugene, and Quad are in an okay place, we've heard too. Simone is the only one who's really holding on to it. So Quad embraces Simone, but says she's only there because of Cecil, even though she loves Simone. And Simone still doesn't want to make up with Quad. Dr. Scott then raps. Eugene says, he did get one stream from him, meaning, yeah, I downloaded his song, but it won't it's not nothing that I just gotta hear. Heavenly says if she's over 50 and she can get a BBL, then he can start a rap career. Dr. Damon is like, you can get BBL, and did she get a BBL or did she get a tummy tuck? I know she said she had some type of medical procedure, but what is it? Because Dr. Damon's acting surprised over here. So next we got Sweet Tea and Contessa, and they're talking about Dr. Heavenly. So did we bring Contessa up to gang up on Heavenly with Sweet Tea? Is that what we did here? So Sweet Tea and Contessa are talking about Heavenly. Next thing you know, Sweet Tea decides she's going to approach Damon to try to explain herself. According to her, she repeated something that Heavenly said to her, which is where the whole cheating thing came from. She didn't call him a cheater. But if you repeated it, you alleged it, you did call him a cheater in so many words. Damon says, look, I'm not going to hold you to it, but gee, you know me. And you should know who I am. Your wife can say whatever she wants to say because she doesn't know me, but you do. I understand why Damon is upset. Because as a friend, you should at some point speak to your wife and kind of shut her down. But Damon, you didn't do it either when it come to Dr. G as your friend. And to be fair, do y'all know whether or not each other's going to cheat? No. Did y'all think Curtis is going to cheat? No. Do y'all know if Cecil cheated? I think Cecil was getting into something with his best friend that he no longer can talk to. Somebody like somebody there, allegedly, but no. With that being said, they're talking. It's calm at first, and Heavenly comes up. And she don't want no woman to talk to her man without her being present. Next thing you know, they're going back and forth on who said what. Damon says, if you got something to say to Heavenly, then you need to talk to me. If they go back and forth some more, it is a mess. Heavenly steps in saying certain things, and G's like, your wife says harsh things, and then she's like, your wife was saying harsh things too, and they just going back and forth. Next thing you know, Dr. Heavenly is like, I don't like the way you talking to me because Sweet Tea's all up in her face, and you need to back up and get off of me and blah blah blah. Heavenly and Sweet Tea, bottom line, are both wrong. Sweet Tea's walking off because, of course, some people came and grab her, and she's telling Phaedra that if she says one more thing and if she don't stop, she's going to get a cease and desist. Y'all need to get one on each other because both of y'all have taken it too far, and you're killing the vibe. Like, at this point, we don't care. The fact that Dr. G is back on our screens, I feel like it's wrong. I never thought he should have been back in the first place. I think that was an insult to Quad, but Quad is here, and I can't wait to see Quad and her new man. But if there's something that I left out that you want to talk about it, feel free, put it down below. What do we think of this first episode? I think it's good, and I think that Married to Medicine is going to bring something this year. Until next time.